Alright YouTube, what is going on? My name is Bigfoot and welcome back to episode number 8. Can't believe we're already on to episode number 8 of the Cities Skylines series here on the map of Fordell County. Hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's episode, we are going to go ahead and continue with some public transport stuff, and then we're going to hopefully build a remote village and then focus on actually some industries again as well, because I felt that we got some new unlocks in the last episode, but I've honestly not been over to our forest in about 2 episodes now, so we really do need to go ahead and revisit that place as soon as possible. We are just dealing right now with a lot of just general city things, which does take up quite a bit of time, but that is just the game. You can't really go ahead and focus on one part of the city and neglect it all, because then your city will... I mean, it's quite obvious, and it happens, I feel, in a lot of cities in real life, actually. It's just Edinburgh. You know, it really does happen, and it needs to be done. So, let's go ahead and get on with this episode. At the end of the last episode, I went ahead and made a change to this, and it evidently has not worked out great. As we can see, we have got a bit of an issue, and I think I know what it is to do with. It's basically because I don't have enough passing places for trains, so we need to go ahead, and it does sort itself out eventually, but the problem is I don't actually have enough outlines and inlines really for trains to basically be able to move, so we do need to go ahead and try and take the pressure off of our main line here. As we can see, this is just not good. We need to go ahead and resolve this issue, and also if a train is waiting to go in, we now need to go ahead and have a big enough passageway for trains to be able to come out. So I know how we are going to resolve this issue, and it shouldn't be too much of a difficult one. So let's go ahead and pause first of all, and let's actually go ahead and delete that there. Then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and re-grab our rail line tool, and what we're going to do is we're going to run a railway line basically parallel to our main line here. And then what this is going to do is this is then going to merge in at the last second here, which is fine like that. So that means now we've got a larger, I guess, not taxiway, but we've got a bit more room to breathe there, which is good. Then on top of that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do something similar. So we're going to have a side track here. We're going to make this much better though, and we're also going to make the junction much closer to here, because I think that should solve my issue if I go ahead and make this quite short. So if we go ahead and do something like that, then if we go ahead and have quite a large turning circle, or not turning circle, but bends like so. And then if we go ahead and extend this along here like that. And then what we're going to do is I do want to actually connect it, but not just yet. I want to do it... oh, let's just do it in there for now. Let's see if that works. So now we've got a bit of room for trains to wait. And then on top of that as well, actually, what I am going to go ahead and do is... I do want to try and get a station in here. So what I do want to do is... I know this is quite a special building, and I know we placed it there specifically, but I'm going to go ahead and move that over to there and move this over to here, because it does benefit if warehouses are near your cargo stations, which is good. I feel we're actually seeing a lot less traffic in this area as well, which is super good too, so I'm quite happy about that indeed. But what I want to do is try and get a passenger station somehow in this vicinity, and then I would also like to get another one further down the line. For us being able to do that though, we are going to need to probably add in a road which basically runs parallel to here. So if we go ahead and add in a road which comes in here, then maybe goes to there, then I need it to run along at an angle, say, here. Does that work? We will go ahead and see. It does work, which is perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick that in there like that. And then... okay, I mean, this is going to basically cause issues here though, because obviously with our junction here, I've got a feeling things are just in a little bit too close proximity to each other. That's the only downfall here. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and reconnect this essentially to the main line as soon as possible. but actually give it a nice angle. if we can, though that's not really going to happen. Then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and have that junction come out here like so. And then resolve itself like that. So it's a slight modification. It might mean we put a lot of pressure on here, but as well what we can do is we can also go ahead and add in another line, which, don't know if this is going to make a difference, but we're going to have it anyway. So we're going to have a third track running parallel, which basically bypasses all of this entirely. So if we go ahead and continue this round here like so, then if we have a straight line which comes right down here, yep, that looks good, and nice and parallel as well for that matter. Then we've got a space is occupied issue, which isn't great at all. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to, and I mean this would be a really good instance where move it would be super useful. We're going to go ahead and continue this. And I'm actually going to run this pretty much parallel right down here. They actually get wider in space, I am noticing that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to remerge this in, if we can, about there, which is fine. So yeah, I do realise the gap gets slightly wider, but that does mean that we now have a little bit more, I don't know, what's the word? A little bit more capacity for our trains. Let me go ahead and cut this back a bit more as well. Let's go ahead and rebuild this bridge. So the thing is, I'm actually thinking is we're going to go ahead and run this back as well. And I'm actually going to go ahead and build this up. I only want it to be at 6 units high because there's no need for anything higher than that. Because it just looks stupid the other way around. And then let's build that into there like so, which is perfect. So it's a much more lower bridge, a much more natural looking bridge. Trains should be able to get under there, no problemo. Not by much, mind you, but it just looks a bit of a better bridge there. And that station is built, which is good. On top of this, what we can do is we can actually go ahead and draw, hopefully, some... oh, no, see, this is actually going to be an issue. We can't seem to draw in between the two lines, which really sucks. And I'm not really at all sure why that is. Can we do single lines? It just doesn't want to do lines in between these two, does it? Which should actually be super, super useful. Especially after here, for example. But yeah, that's not going to happen. If anyone knows actually how to do this, because I'd love to do this in the future anyway, then please tell me, because it would be super good to do. And then what I want to probably do is actually add in another station at a later stage along here too. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. Right, what we're going to do for now is we're just going to get this into action because I'm taking way too long on this. So that rejoins there, which is cool. And then what I want to do is, if we can continue along here. The thing is, on this track, on this side here, there's going to be cargo trains. And there's going to be passenger trains, which isn't good. Isn't good at all. That's why I want to go ahead and probably get cargo trains back onto this line sooner rather than later. But again, I can't really seem to do that right now, which is unfortunate. Right, I mean, we'll go ahead and we'll experiment. That's what we do as usual. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and continue to extend this road along here. This is going to be where it pretty much ends, because we're going to sort of have a... you can see a lot of trees here. This is going to go down to the coast, and this is where our city industrial park is going to be its limits, because I don't want it to take over everything really here, which is quite important to note. So if we go ahead and zone this up, let's go ahead and make this quite tight, because it is a city industrial zone. Let's go ahead and build that up to what's say there, and let's draw that across from there. Then let's draw that down from there. Let's go ahead and extend that a little bit more. And draw what we need to down there, which is perfect. Right, okay, so with that said now, what I'm wanting to do is try and get another street which is sort of runs parallel right down here. Don't think that is quite perfectly straight, but it will do. And let's see if we can get another station. Hope you all like stations, because I certainly do. Let's go ahead and get that in there. And then if we go ahead and... I realise I'm building lots of stations. I don't even know if I'm actually going to build a separate railway line, or I might just get regional trains to serve this line for the time being. Let's connect that into there, and let's connect that into there, which is perfect. So, there we go, and that's a second station added in, which is exciting. And let's go ahead and... if we can actually... I do want to go ahead and upgrade this road, which isn't going to happen, is it? No, so... what I think we're going to do instead then is we're going to go ahead and probably not... I'm going to try avoid zoning on this road, though. I mean, that's going to be easier said than done. Let's run that into there for now, and that works out nicely. So that should go ahead and really provide a bit of better infrastructure going forward. So we can go ahead and get power to this place. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and zone up some more factories, which runs over to here. And then that should do. We are going to go ahead and add maybe a nice park in here. Actually, I think that would be a good idea. For this to work though, I probably am going to have to dezone some of this. So let me go ahead and do that for the time being. So we can just go ahead and get re-increase some demand by dezoning other demand, which hopefully makes sense. Right, okay, so with that said then, we're going to go ahead and add in some parks out here as well. Do apologise, that took much longer than I anticipated it to. We're also going to go ahead and get rid of this road, and we'll relay this road once we get this nice large park into there, which is even better. So if we go ahead and continue this down here like so, and then that can be built into... let's build that down there like so, and then into there for now. So that, I mean, again, it's very temporary, but that works out great. And then we can go ahead and... I don't even know, we'll fill this in as time goes on, really. Right, okay, so with that said, now we are going to need an extension to our water system, which I feel we're getting very, very close to going ahead and requiring that bit more infrastructure, which I think we can quite easily go ahead and do. We've got another water treatment thing going in here at our bay. Arguably, we can now go ahead and move that entirely. But again, it's gonna pollute somewhere, so we might as well go ahead and have it in a currently polluted area. We don't have any more tiles to buy, do we? No, we don't. Yeah, it's really weird what I've actually gone for here. I mean, I don't know where to go next. We'll see. We'll go ahead and see how things go. And then to get more water, that should be easy enough to do as well. Let's just go ahead and get another one, and then two of these, and that should go ahead and keep us in good stead for the future as well. So that should go ahead and quite drastically go ahead and change the capacities. Water availability is at its max, and sewage treatment has drastically increased as well. One thing I'm quite intrigued by though is how are we doing on power? Yeah, we're getting to that stage where things are getting in a bit of the grey area. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in 3 more wind turbines, which should hopefully go ahead and help out our city. Just going to add in quite a lot more actually while we've got the cash too, which is epic. So that should now mean we've got an abundance of electricity all of a sudden, which is perfect, just what I want to see. Okay, so with that done now, and we got these stations into action, I'm just hoping to start to see the railway just working much better than it was, honestly. That's just what I want to see, much more success. In general, there's a lot less traffic in and around here, which is good. It's only really affecting this street here, which is what I was kind of expecting, to be honest with you. And I'm starting to also see less trains building up here. What I'd maybe like to do is at least go ahead and trial a train route which goes ahead and calls at all 3 of these stations. We can go ahead and possibly add in a 4th up here if we want to for Conifer Village, because that would be very doable. And then, I mean, with regards to Fordell City, we could possibly add one in over here as well, but this is where it gets to the stage where we can add them in, but I feel they're not going to have much of an impact. So right now I feel we're best leaving the regional train, which still calls currently at our Crescent Bay Village station. But I want to go ahead and review the underground, because that is something which we went ahead and built in the last episode, and oh my word, it looks like we have got good success here. So, taking this route on here, we've got 4 trains on the route in total, which I mean, they have nice large cars, 180 seats, and that means that we can get a lot of people on here. So I mean, this is the best way to move people around and really take our pressure off the buses. So I think that's doing quite well as of current right now, and then same vice versa as well. So I mean, this has been a really good build, and I'm really happy we went ahead and did it. I'm also hoping that's taking a little bit of pressure off the roads. I mean, if we go ahead and check out our traffic map, which we know it's public transport. I mean, we still need to touch on buses as well. I mean, I've been saying that for episodes and episodes. Okay, we've got some bottlenecks, which I understand where they are, but I think if we go ahead and improve the buses, I'm guessing the buses probably don't need as many buses, or I mean, they probably don't have anywhere near as much pressure on them as they did. Though in saying that, I mean, I'm not at all sure really how accurate that is, to be honest, because it is difficult to measure. I will add in some more at a later stage. It's one of these things which I'm just happy to throw money at public transport because it just is vitally needed all over. Okay, so it looks like we've got a lot of demand for industrial, which is awesome. So we can now go ahead and zone up a lot more of this, which is totally cool. Then on top of that, what's our issue here? So we are interestingly lacking on workers, which is crazy. I don't know how that is. Maybe it's to do with actually getting people over to this part of town, because I'm imagining people can't get to this part of town too easily. We do have the underground station just up at the top of the street actually, which that kind of makes sense. And what I think we are going to do is we are going to very quickly add in a new bus route which just basically serves this new part of town, so you can go ahead and connect as soon as you get out of the station here. So let's go ahead and add in a stop there. Let's add in a stop there, bring this down here, and then bring this along right through our industrial estate. Let's go ahead and actually have a stop outside the train station, really get the connectivity flowing, and it's just going to be a basic route like that. This is going to be, we're just going to call this Crescent's Industrial Estate, which is IE, and then we're just going to call this 2. I mean, a very creative name indeed. But that should hopefully go ahead and start to just connect up this part of the industrial estate a little bit better. While we are talking about that though, let's go ahead and actually extend the zone, because the zone has now drastically gone ahead and changed. So let's go ahead and very quickly just zone all this up along here for the time being. I will go ahead and tidy up this zone off camera, but that's now that all extended, which is super exciting. Now what I want to do is go ahead and just make the border, the railway line. So if we go ahead and try and follow the main line here as nice as possible. Go ahead and neaten that edge up there. And then perfect, so that runs right up to there, which is cool. So as you can see now, quite a large area in general. And then finally, let's just go ahead and neaten that bit up there, which is perfect. So as we can see now, all is good. Right, okay, so towards the end of this episode now, I mean, we've still got quite a bit to go, to be fair. I feel we've achieved a lot. I really do, this episode. Let's return over to here, because we've not really focused on our industries a lot, which is a big part of the series, or it should be anyway. So, our current issues right now is that, I mean, this is on empty, and it just will not empty, which is crazy. So, what I think we need to do is possibly go ahead and upgrade this whole area here. So, first of all, there is actually an area zone, which we have for an industry. So, I'm actually going to go ahead and extend this over the road here. Like so, so I can actually make use and build buildings at the other side of the road. So, currently this is a 3-star area, which is good. What I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and extend this road up a little bit here. I mean, we can go right up to the edge here, so we can really make something out of this. Though, I mean, I do want to go ahead and... I mean, what I'm thinking is we're actually going to have a highway come up the side here anyway, and this road is just going to be the company road, for example, so we can't have vehicles actually on this road, which is quite important. This is sort of the small village which we've now got going out here, and we also have a fire station, or we don't have a fire station or police station out here, but there's one right on the edge, I believe, now over here. There's the police station there, and then there's, I mean, I think there's like 2 firehouses in with all this here, but we'll leave that for now. So coming back to here, we're at 3 stars. How are we doing money-wise here? Because We're in the profit right now, but it is one of these things that we're now at a loss, so it fluctuates a lot. Fortunately, we're making so much money that it isn't really affecting things too much when we do make a loss, but I mean, I'm sure it works out quite well all round. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and add in a large log yard. That's what we definitely need to go ahead and do first. So let's jump into here and let's go ahead and get our building on. Then let's go ahead and... that is a forestry main building. So we filter by yards here. We can all of a sudden get a large yard, which is much more up my street. So let's go ahead and build that in there, and that should be able to store a lot of logs. We can also have sawdust storage as well over here, which is pretty cool. Then outside of that, what else have we got? Because we've unlocked quite a few things. We've already got biomass pellets in action, and we also have a sawmill in action. That's fine. I think we maybe... no, we don't quite have any new forestry areas, which is unfortunate. We must have something else new. I thought we unlocked something else, maybe not. Okay, so maybe we're limited by that unless we've somehow unlocked a new road or something. I mean, forestry fence, I would like to go ahead and gate this whole area off at some point, but for now I'm quite happy with it indeed. Okay, so what we can do now is actually just go ahead and add in a bit more to this. I think that's a good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in another road along here. And then we're just going to go ahead and build this up along here like so. So these two sort of run parallel to each other. And instead of actually going ahead and extending this, what I think we're going to do is I think we're going to go ahead and build what we can for this. And we're actually going to zone this down, if that makes much sense. So we're going to go ahead and make it sort of an enclosed area in general. So for this, we're going to need to go into the correct menu. Let's actually just go ahead and add in some more forestry items right now. So let's go ahead and add in our second road for now. And let's go ahead and do a mixture of different things. I do want to go ahead, this must be what we've got new. This must be the level 3 thing. So medium tree plantations. We can go ahead and I think add in a few of these from the very top, which is pretty cool. And then we can go ahead and continue to basically just throw some more of these things down. So for this, we are going to need to go ahead and add in some better water piping as well, which is going to be super useful to our builds like so. And then what I want to do is actually just go ahead and sort of zone this off. So I'm sure our power grid area has now updated, which it has slightly. So if we go ahead and connect that to there, and then let's go ahead and pull that back. Then what I want to do is sort of go ahead and build not a gated community, because we will allow vehicles through here, but I want it to sort of appear like that. So if we jump back in here, come along in here to fences, then let's go ahead and see what we can do. So let's go ahead and build a fence along here, and then along the... let's build it to there, because I do expect us to build a bit more over here as time goes on. And let's go ahead and build, say, into there. Let's go ahead and build right up and along up to, I don't know, there maybe. Let's go ahead and build along here like so. Then let's build pretty much right down here to where the road is, which is wonderful. Then we're going to go ahead and successfully cross the roads. We're going to come back along here a bit. And then we're going to build round to there, which I think is pretty cool. So now you can sort of see our defined forest zone. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to go ahead and descale this for this. So if we go ahead and get rid of this top part here, and then this will be the more challenging bit, trying to see the fence through the overlay we've got here. So that defines that, I think, relatively well. I mean, again, we can mess around with this quite a bit, but the aim is to go ahead and just try and follow this line the best we can. Then when we're into here, let's go ahead and... Yeah, this is sort of working. I'll go ahead and I'll do this properly later, because I'm not going to waste ages on this. We'll do a rough good outline, which that looks like it right now. Then we can go ahead and re-increase re-increase our tool size up to there. Then coming into this bit, actually, we need to go ahead and do a bit of adding and taking away. So let's go ahead and tighten up that angle there. Coming back down this side. Looking pretty good. Like so. Then finally, let's go ahead and do that. And then let's actually just go ahead and fill in the remaining inner zone here. So we require to go ahead and now build over the other side of the road, which is fine. And there we go, voila, absolutely perfect. So we can maybe go ahead and tidy up that corner there just a little bit. Right, wonderful, so that is our plantation now. It's quite a strict zone, and to actually just define it even better, what we're going to do is that we're actually going to go ahead and surround the grounds with some more trees as well. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here, try and make this just look a bit more realistic. So where we can, we are going to go ahead and add in a lot more trees, make it a lot more denser, so you can sort of tell this is a defined forestry area, and try and leave out any blanks. So what are we thinking now? Does this look much better? I'm hoping it does. Yeah, I really do like that a lot now, actually. So that looks much more like a forested area. Again, it's not complete, and we will continue to add to it as we require, but that looks really cool now. And as well, we've got some shops. It's sort of a little village in the middle of nowhere. I really do like this. But that was a bit of a slip of the tongue there. That sort of brings us on to our next point, building a village. And that's what I want to go ahead and do. Try and build a remote village as our next build. However, we're still having ridiculous, I mean ridiculous, like demands for industrial, which is crazy. So I guess we're gonna have to build some more of this, eh? The thing is, we're actually now starting to pretty much fill up our industrial zone in general, so that's quite important to note. We're gonna go try and get some more in there. We can't really build too much more into here, to be honest. There is some, I guess, waste in and around here which we can go ahead and improve on, but in saying that now, I do want to go ahead and check up while we're at it on this. So right now, currently our production value is at, what, 2,400, which is not bad. Production rate 100%. I think we just need to go ahead and try and get a lot more output from here, which, I mean, it all stems back to our forested area here. So as we can see, this is already ridiculously nearly full, so let's go ahead and try and empty this already. I don't think this will honestly ever empty. It's that crazy. We are starting to see balanced here again. Let's go ahead and set that to empty. I mean, this just needs to go ahead and produce more. That's what we need. We could almost add in more of these, so we can add in a second sawmill and maybe a second biomass pellet thing. And I actually think that's really not a bad idea, coming to think of it. So if we jump through here, let's go ahead and get another one of those in there, then another one of those in there. So that should hopefully go ahead and double the outcome here in our small village. Lots of road vehicles along here all of a sudden. This is an area which could definitely benefit from without traffic lights. There's just not enough traffic for this anyway. So let's go ahead and clear that there, and hopefully we should start to see vehicles move a little bit better again. I'm actually contemplating at this junction, because things have got busier again. Because there's a lot less junctions now, I'm contemplating going ahead and reintroducing the traffic lights here. Because I think that it could make some sort of difference, because there's just a lot less junctions. So let's go ahead and reintroduce traffic lights into these two areas here for the current time being, and see what difference that makes. The only problem is that we've still got a lot of, I think we could maybe alter lane assignment here at the top, or we could put traffic lights on here, because this is going to hold everything up here. So let's return them on up here and see if that makes much difference. Again, it's really difficult to say. I mean, I don't think I'm ever happy with a lot of it, to be honest. Much happier with this train junction up here though, which is good. And the good thing is the demand has once again flipped, and it is back over to commercial, which is awesome. So what we're going to go ahead and do is build a road along to, I don't know, say there. Then we're going to go ahead and try to get a bit of a natural groove in there. Then let's go ahead and build that round there like that. And that means we can go ahead and get a lot more commercial. And let's go ahead and get a mixture of high density along here. Let's get some more high density shops. And then let's get a mixture of low density as well. Right, okay, so I'm not going to get on to building that remote village. I do apologise, Billy, it's not going to happen. But towards the end of this episode, I do want to go ahead and do some stuff. So we're going to add in more trees in places where there is lack of trees, because that's something that I love to do. I'm really liking the build-up of this place now in general. So let me go ahead and... we are actually just going to go ahead and go a bit overkill, especially over here and in around the mountainside here. I quite like that look already. It's just making things look quite busy and quite compact. Let's go ahead and see what we can fill in and around this area here. And then in this area here in the shopping district. Which all that looks good for now. So yeah, I'm really liking the overhead view actually all of a sudden now. We've just gone ahead and overcompensated with trees, but this is what I really love. And I can't get enough of it. How's our toll booths doing? Are these working? Nah. Why are these not working? It's on. Building is turned off. So building is turned on, and you just don't want to collect anything. I swear maybe I've got to, like, set a setting in here or something. Which would make sense, but I mean, where do I start with that? Also, post offices. We're going to go ahead and we're going to mess around with that, weren't we? Because we do have a post office in here now. Does it get used much? I'm quite curious. It just sits there quite quietly and doesn't do that much. Having a look at this here, so we've got unsorted mail, we've got sorted mail, we've got postal vans in use, and we've got post trucks in use. So, yes, I feel we could make use of this. So, what we're going to do is we actually are going to go ahead and move these buildings again. Just temporarily for now, though. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll come back and we'll reassign them shortly. I'm actually going to build some roads up here right now for our service vehicles. So let's go ahead and build a road right up here, which is only going to be able to be built on from one side, which yes kind of sucks, but let's go ahead and continue this along to let's actually change this to single track, and let's go ahead and turn that bend off. This is being difficult. Let's extend you to there. Let's go ahead and rebuild you into... oh, this has just been so difficult. It's because of the angle it's at, isn't it? Right, let's build you into there for the time being. I don't want to build a lot up here, but what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and bring this factory back over and stick you not in there for the time. Yeah, I do, but then I want to move you, and this police station is going to move over to here actually. I feel that will be a slightly better place for it. Let's go ahead and move that over there side by side. Then what I want to do is get a sorting office in here if we can. So if we go back into public transport, we want to go ahead and get a sorting office. Sorting offices are a lot bigger than I thought, evidently. So what we're going to do is we're going to get that in up the top here. And then we're also going to get a small regional post office in around here somewhere. I mean, generally things are... post office people seem quite happy across our whole city. I think Fordell City could probably do with one in itself, so let's go ahead and get one in up here as well, which is pretty cool. And now we've also got ourselves a sorting facility as well, quite close to our cargo depot, which I think is also quite important. So then we can hopefully start to see a bit more use out of that. I don't know if the traffic lights are working or not. I mean, traffic will be the bane of my existence. It always is in cities, it really is. But I'm really happy with how we got the trains routed here. I'm wondering if this train will pull in at any of our stations. Looks like it will. So you've got 3 passengers on you. I mean, I don't think these train stations are getting used much. There's also a train which is using the outer line, which that means it's not stopping at any station. And then we've got another one here, so all of a sudden we got a lot of trains. I mean, we've not got a lot of people on these trains, arguably, but let's bypass that fact for now. So, yeah, I feel the system's working out quite well. We're not getting too much clogging up. We're getting trains using bypasses if they need to, which is good. And I'm, in general, quite happy all in all. This train is just left with a whopping 4 passengers, so things are great to see. It looks like here we've maybe got a bit too many buses on this route over here. What route are you? So you are Crescent OD. I think this is the one we jump from like maybe 6 buses to 18, and I think that was a bit much, especially with the drop now in buses here. So this has now got 18, so yeah, this is the route which we went ahead and just ridiculous expansion. It was unnecessary how much we did. So if we go ahead and lower that to, I don't know, say 10 buses, I do think we still have a lot of people using this route, but it just seems to be one certain bus stop, so we can maybe go ahead and try and relieve this bus stop. Yeah, it seems to be up in this corner here, which is quite interesting. So what we're gonna do is, we've still got this bus stop over there, which is weird, isn't it? Yeah. So what I want to do here is I'm gonna go ahead and try and create a new bus route, just to go ahead and try and, I don't know, serve my inner urge to go ahead and create a new bus route. Let's go ahead and let's have this one, I guess, go around by, let's just make it go in quite an odd, weird way. So what you're going to do is you're going to come into the Crescent Bay Industrial Estate, which is fine. You're then going to come, I don't know, down here. You can then make your way around to and stop in there. Then maybe there. Then you want to continue up here. I don't actually want any more buses stopping there though. Let's stop you in there. Let's have you come through here. Purpose of this is to just go ahead and try and connect up this part of town maybe a bit better and go ahead and take pressure off the current infrastructure. So we can also go ahead and have a bus stop outside of here. Maybe not actually. We'll have this one just stop up on that street there. Then we can have another one round this corner here. I realise we're getting buses going down streets which I probably shouldn't have buses going down, but hey ho. And that will run round to there. So I'm just going to go ahead and name this, I guess, this is Crescent. This is Crescent to IE2, so it's a slightly different, altered route all in all. We've got 3 vehicles on that, which is never going to be enough. Let's make that a nice yellow colour. Quite a bright yellow, in fact, actually, which is good. And then let's go ahead and vehicle 6, which is good. So that's now the new route, just something a little bit different. We've gone ahead and we've added in quite a lot of new buses. I still need to go ahead and connect up quite a few places. But ladies and gentlemen, once again we're out of time, and we've actually overshot by quite a bit this episode, so hope you have enjoyed it. We've done quite a bit in this episode, I feel, while my throat is giving in, which is not good. We've done quite a bit, I'm quite happy with it, all in all. Still a long way to go. I mean, it's really frustrating right now, to be honest, actually. We are currently sitting at a really just a high demand. It could be for offices, actually. That's what I'm starting to think. It could be for offices, which would make a lot of sense. So, and we're sort of officed out here, but we can actually go ahead and extend this down the way. Right, let's very quickly just go ahead and do a bit of a road extension down here and see if this makes a difference while I run the outro. So, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and check out that description down below. That will go ahead and have links to my Twitter, my Patreon, and my Discord. Go ahead and please give this video a like rating. It should really go ahead and help this video and channel grow. Same with comments as well. They're also super useful. Go ahead and give me your feedback. Go ahead and tell me what you want me to implement into this series. We're starting to see that drop a little bit, which is what I was expecting. And that's great to see. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.